don't know if you can read my shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts. It's more like talking about myself, I guess. This is a crisis. I'm a walking crisis sometimes when I swell. I swell a lot. And I live in Florida, and the heat has had me a prisoner inside, and I'm so ready for winter. Everybody has different meds that work for them and don't work for them. We're all different. Every swell is different. What one med will work on one swell may not work on another swell, better or worse. I personally have Firazyr, and then I have Ruconest that I do every 3 days as a prophylactic. And then I'm on Taxero, which for me hasn't done anything. And a lot of people have a lot of trouble with insurance. And my husband works at a gunpowder plant, and so I have insurance through there, and they have been horrible. So you're not alone in those battles. I want to kind of tell you how I ended up getting some leadway. I was officially diagnosed with HAE 4 years ago, and my health insurance capital health plan would not approve any of the meds because I'm a type 3. Go figure. Finally, after a little push and pull, we got Firazyr. But of course they would only cover 6 shots a month total. So basically telling me I can only swell 6 times a month. So of course I had to ration, like everybody else does. So then I got put on Sunrise, and Sunrise didn't work well for me. It kind of even made me swell a little bit. I got started on that, and then there was the shortage. So the shortage, I went on to Ruconest, and it was working, but Capital Health Plan would not pay for it. So I was getting it through the charity program, like many people do, for 2 years, and always paranoid that the rug was going to be pulled out from underneath me with the charity program, because I was afraid they're going to come to me and say, look, we've been giving you meds of $130,000 a month for like 2 years. Your insurance is just not budging. And I had been fighting this and fighting this and fighting this. I remember one time on a phone call with CHP, I actually got somebody on the phone and was talking to them about the denials that I kept getting, and I told them flat out, I said, I understand that it is cheaper for you if I die. I get it. From a business standpoint, I understand it. I said, however, I did not go to the 7-Eleven and get diagnosed with this. I went to California to the head honcho of this disease and got diagnosed. I said, and you are an insurance company who is stepping out of their role, and you are playing God with my life. And it's not fair. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to my kid. Still denied. So I started thinking outside the box. Thinking, how can I get this done? Well, Florida had a special election for a U.S. House Representative seat. I've tried to get a hold of politicians before, never really succeeded in it, but we had a special election coming up. So I decided to go that avenue. And I, tracked this man down. Finally got a hold of him, and I asked him to come to my house and meet with me. So he came to my house and sat with me and my family for like 2.5 hours. And I showed him all my pictures. I showed him all the denial letters. I showed him everything. And he agreed that they were an insurance company stepping outside of their role. We talked about possible legislation, and I said it's not fair that they can just deny you and continue to deny you. Those are some things we're still working on. However, he made some phone calls. He got involved with my case with my insurance company. And it wasn't even 3 weeks. And after 2.5 years of being denied, CHP approved me for Ruconest. Only till December, gave me 6 months. But it was headway. And he, of course, he won. And he said, when December comes around and you have issues, call me. He understands that, it needs to be bigger than a case-by-case basis. And those are things that hopefully we're going to work on here. So that is a recommendation I have for y'all. If you're really fighting with insurance companies, get in touch with your politicians, your local politicians. That's what they're there for. It was kind of cool in this aspect that my son kind of got to see politics at work. Even for me too. And it's kind of important. Next year, 2020, is a pretty big election year. And it's like I told this guy, I said, I knew if I could get in front of you before you got elected, you would remember my name and my face after you were elected. So 2020 is coming up, and there's going to be a lot of seats and a lot of candidates running. And I suggest that you take a stab at it. Get a hold of them somehow, some way. There was one I flagged down on the side of the road, y'all, and talked to him. And so that's my new idea of this. And maybe if there's a whole bunch of us and we're tagging these people and then they're going into office, maybe, I don't know, it's a shot in the dark. What do we have to lose? So that was my own personal story of how I just battled this latest insurance. I'm sure that I'm going to have more. But I just thought I'd share. It was a win-win for me on this one.